This is the Evil Never Dies podcast with Brett and Carl. This podcast may contain adult themes, violence, and strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to the Evil Never Dies podcast, episode 283. Or is it 284?
284.
284, okay.
I don't know, I'm just making shit up. I have no idea.
283 or 284.
It's not 285, so we know that.
No. So, yeah.
No, I'm not drinking. I'm drinking key lime water from Tom Thumb.
Key lime water.
It's sparkling water with lime flavor.
The little plastic bottles, the seltzer water.
They're I can't really tell the big difference between this and the damn expensive Liquid Death I buy. This is a little bit sweeter, I think.
I used to buy the Walmart brand of that. It's not
good.
Too bad. I used to mix that with my vodka.
You could do that easily.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, I wanted to try it out before I bought it anymore, and it's good. I'm just really trying to cut out the Mountain Dews and all the sodas and shit. So this sparkling water is good stuff. Yeah. I feel like an idiot for never drinking it before.
Is it sugar free or?
Ain't got nothing in it but flavoring.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, the ones at the Walmart, they're only like 70 cents a piece, too.
Yeah, the Tom Thumb's about the same.
But, yeah.
It's the Safeway brand. You know, Tom Thumb and Albertsons and Safeway are all in cahoots. And now Kroger's trying to buy them. Everything's a monopoly these days.
Yep.
Maybe one day we'll merge with another podcast. Everybody wants to merge. So today,
the Halloween stuff they got put out at Home Depot, and Carl's lost his mind.
I did lose my mind.
We got one more new cool prop for the haunt. So,
well, his head's over in the corner. I'm not going to show him off yet. He's going to be debuted once I put him together.
That'll be something for you to do tomorrow.
Yeah, Scarlett will be back supposedly later. She left for a while.
Oh, okay.
That's one reason I said let's speed the show up. So,
okay,
ain't got to listen to her in the background whining.
But yeah, Carl went during the day to look at the Home Depot.
And I had doctor's appointments yesterday. My niece had to have surgery, so I took off of work and I went to get some of our medium-sized screws that we needed because I thought we might need them this weekend. And I'm like, I wonder if Home Depot, this one has set yet. And they have set their Halloween. And it's pretty damn amazing, actually.
Yeah.
We now own a Count Karabi-looking vampire. Looks just like Karabi, the Karabi mask.
Yeah, he's cool looking, too.
Then I fell in love with a Frankenstein.
But it wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't meant to be. It was one of those forbidden loves, I guess.
So much that I got drugged back up to the Home Depot after work to go look again.
And then Scarlett got drugged up there a third. I was up there a third time.
Had to get the final advice from the 9-year-old, huh?
She's the haunt manager, dude.
Yep.
So, but that's the story I was going to get to. So, you know, we always try to work on Saturdays here. I don't ever do anything but walk around and complain. Brett does all the work. But so I think I was on the couch half asleep and I get a text from Brett and our Frankenstein we got from Moxley Manor. He's got it running while I'm asleep. You probably seen videos for him because I think we posted on every social media form that we got.
Yep, so it's up on the YouTube too.
Good job to haunt engineer Brett. You kicked ass on that.
Damn.
He was
do I get to get an award after the haunt season?
You're gonna be an award-winning haunt engineer. This thing was in pretty bad shape. It originally came from the Boneyard Haunted House, and
Is that an
Richard.
old distortions prop?
It probably is. Richard had bought a bunch of stuff from them, and he told me today. I was up at Moxley. He's like, "Yeah," he said, he said that thing just didn't fit my theme," and he says it fits you guys a whole lot better. He said, "So I'm really happy y'all got it running." I'm like, "Brett, kick butt on it. It's in pretty bad shape, but it's coming back to life really
Yeah,
good."
we really need to rehab the entire thing.
Yeah, we
Uh,
just get him up for this season, and then we can do more work on him.
yeah, he needs some work on his arms.
He's probably 20 years old.
Probably older than that.
Might be. So that was our haunt fun for the day,
Yeah.
or Brett's. I was just hanging around at our haunted house, and then hanging around at Moxley. So I've been a hanger all day.
In the Home Depot again.
I didn't go to Home Depot today.
Oh, you took her last night again?
Yeah, last night. She wanted to go see something up there. I
Oh.
forget.
Oh, so you made another trip last night after we went?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you went today.
No.
Oh shit.
We
That's
went to
funny.
Lowe's today. Lowe's has got some kind of cool stuff, but most of it's sold out. That's cool.
Stuff goes quick, man.
Jam if it does, yeah.
And they got the like the 12-foot stuff. It's only what was it, 259?
Yeah.
The 12-foot skeleton, and that tree thing was really cool looking. The
They
tree
just think I know
skeleton
where to
thing.
store this stuff
Yeah,
though.
I know. I know. Or
Be-
even put it in the haunt.
or even put it in the haunt. Like there was this really kind of cool looking wolf I almost got, but I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing. And then they not only sold him, they sold the model already, the
Yeah.
demo. So I'm like, God bless.
And the Chucky too. They sold out of the
The
Chucky.
Chucky's gone. I told Scarlett the Chucky walked off, and she started looking around like, what? So
Oh, that's
yeah,
funny.
I think this Count Karabi is going to be our only prop of the year. We're going to build another Boris Karloff Frankenstein to go with the one we got, and I'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this week we decided to do an album. Brett was trying to do like what 3 weeks ago, and I'm like, you can't do that album.
Yeah. He's like, fuck you. You can't do that album. That's the whole episode, not no midweek.
Well, we'll see if it's a whole episode or not. Now I'm
Well,
starting to worry that it might not be a whole episode. And
uh,
it is a Dio, and I'm wearing a Dio shirt just for this episode.
me too. I'm wearing a Dio shirt too.
Now
Can
I
you
can
see
barely
it?
see it. That's a freaky Dio shirt.
That's the
That from like the 80s?
no, that's the memorial shirt from
Oh,
when he passed
that's-
away.
now I can actually see it. He's turned sideways.
Can you see the back? Let me turn around. See the back?
I just see the Dio logo.
Oh well. It's the commemorative shirt. And you got a little memorial placard with it and a little booklet, memorial booklet, and
You were feeding the Wendy Dio
feeding the
machine.
Feeding Wendy Dio. Yep.
I was gonna pull the CD out, and then I realized the CD's actually from the 80s, and those 80s CDs didn't really come with anything except for
Nope, just the jacket.
just the jacket, and that was it. They're not like these CDs today, the special ones, and it's a
Yeah.
dead art form, but so I didn't even pull it out.
So
And
if
this
you
would
didn't
be the
know,
very first Dio album, Holy Diver,
Diver. Yep.
and came out in 1983 and was the first album of the Dio band and beginning of a new era.
Yep.
And I'll
All
let you
right.
take it from there because this is more your thing. I'm just gonna make commentary as we go.
It was recorded at Sound City Studio in Van Nuys, California. Genre, of course, is heavy metal. Length of the album is 41 minutes, 46 seconds. Came out on Warner Brothers Records. Produced by Ronnie James Dio.
He
And
didn't want nobody else in the studio, apparently.
nope.
He's had enough of people fucking with him after Iomi and Geezer Butler, I think, on the last Sabbath project.
Yeah. Well, he basically started doing this writing and stuff for this album right when he quit Sabbath.
Yes, he did.
They at their house, he had a garage with a little room attached to it, and he sat in there with his bass guitar, came up with that opening bass line for the song Holy Diver, and off they went. So
Yeah, I think Jimmy Bain helped on
yeah.
several of the songs. I don't know. It says Vinny Appice did some writing, but I kind of wonder about that. I think Jimmy Bain was definitely more the sort of the number two in the band in the very beginning, since he was in Rainbow with Ronnie.
And Sabbath.
Jimmy Bain wasn't in
Oh,
Sabbath.
not Jim. Yeah, I thought you
You're
meant
thinking of Vinny.
Benny. Yeah.
Vinny was in Sabbath, and Jimmy Bain was in Rainbow.
Well, let's go over the band members while we're
Let's
at
do
it.
that while we're talking about him. I was like,
Uh,
who are these people? Tell me who they are.
we got Ronnie James Dio on vocals, keyboards, and production. Vinny Appice, or a piece, however you want to say it,
It's Appice.
on drums. Jimmy Bain, bass guitar and keyboards, and Vivian Campbell on guitar. And
Vivian Campbell.
I guess Ronnie and Jimmy Bain went over to Europe and just started like basically going to see live bands to find a guitarist.
Well, suppose that I'm still in Scarlett's lineup. Well, I think it was gonna be Jake E. Lee before all that,
Oh yeah,
and somebody stole Jake E. Lee.
wonder who that was.
I don't know. So I think Jake E. Lee had been pinned in to be the guitar player, but Ronnie really wanted a European guitar player because I think he wanted to sort of build his own Richie Blackmore Iommi clone.
Oh,
That's what I thought. And yeah, they were in Europe, him and Jimmy Bain looking and auditioning, and
finally, they come across a band by the name of Sweet
Sweet
Savage
Savage
playing in a pub
in Ireland.
in Ireland, and they found Vivian Campbell because
Uh,
he was the guitarist for Sweet Savage.
and how old was Vivian? About 21 or 22?
Oh, I think he was
Was
19,
he even that
actually.
young? Yeah,
Yeah, he was really young. Is he still playing with Def Leppard now?
he is. They
Okay.
were just in town, and somebody I know, it was actually Greg Spicoli, the radio DJ. He's not a fan of Def Leppard, and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, look, here's Vivian Campbell from Dio." He won't even acknowledge that he's part of Def Leppard. I don't, some people don't care for Def Leppard's pop rock style.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a big fan of the later stuff either. So
Yeah. But yeah, Vivian's still there, and he's got that band Last in Line still going with Vinny Appice, which was originally the original Dio band project, and it's still going strong, even though Jimmy Bain had passed away after the first album.
yeah,
Good stuff. Don't sound anything like Dio, but I don't think they really wanted to. I think they just wanted to get together and play again, those guys.
yeah. This
Because
was that. Oh,
Ronnie
go
made it
ahead.
clear that he was trying to make a band, but it would be called Dio just because of the name recognition. But they were supposed to be gelling this band together, from the start. And damned if they did a pretty good job, except things didn't go so well near the end because there were a lot of promises made to everybody in the band. And Ronnie bankrolled this thing. He had the name,
Yeah,
Rainbow, Black Sabbath. And Vivian Campbell says he only got paid $100 a week for years. And that continuously, Ronnie was like, well, when we get to the third album, I'm going to raise everybody's money up. And guess that never happened. And that's what led to Vivian leaving the band on such bad notes, years later.
yeah,
But we're gonna reflect on Holy Diver tonight, not do an entire re-synopsis of Dio like we did in the first few episodes of the show.
yeah.
Um, But yeah,
this was actually released on my birthday in 1983, my
it
16th
was.
birthday.
Yeah.
And I remember going to Co-op Records and Tapes and on Main Street in Peoria, Illinois, and buying this the day it came out on my birthday. So, a little
A
tidbit for you there.
lot of excitement about this album back then
Yep. Yes, there was.
because I think a lot of people hated to see Ronnie leave Black Sabbath because you just did Volume 4 of Black Sabbath, which like I've said before, I think those later Black Sabbath albums were terrible, but there was nothing compared to the last three with Ozzy. And when Ronnie joined and Heaven and Hell and the Mob Rules, it just really brought that band to life again. And
Yep.
uh, this was going to be the sort of Dio's legacy of mixing Rainbow and Sabbath, and I think he did a pretty good job of it. Definitely not as heavy as Sabbath, not as commercial as Rainbow, but they did a good job. So
Yes, they
let's
did.
get into some details here.
All right. The album art. Let's go over the album art.
Yeah, I don't have the picture of it. I'm a bad
You're a bad co-host.
contributor.
Illustrated by Randy Barrett. And I guess to get the picture for this, they had hired a photographer to take this guy dressed like a priest down to the ocean, some cove, had chains wrapped around him, and he got in the water and was thrashing around about half drowning from the chains weighting him down. And the guy in the water is yelling, just take the pictures, just take pictures, just keep shooting, keep shooting.
Keep shooting.
And finally he was about ready to go under, and the photographer actually had to help him up out of the water. So anyway,
Here is the album cover for anybody who's not familiar with it. That's the full album cover from the front and the back. Some good art right there.
yeah, it is.
It's for our podcast people, it's a horned devil creature with a chain snapping this Catholic priest
Who's
and drowning him, I guess. And it's the
Ronnie, I
debut
guess
of,
he said, don't, appearances can be misleading. It could be just as easily be a priest killing a devil.
well, the devil doesn't look like he's very dead.
No,
And Murray is the name of the devil.
yeah,
And that'd be
that's
his debut of appearing on Dio albums.
yeah,
I don't know where he got the name Murray. I think we talked about that before. I don't remember now.
I don't either. Oh, let's see here. Again, the themes of this album, Ronnie liked the dragons and the all like the Lord of the Rings type stuff and all that.
Dungeons and Dragons and
Yeah.
rainbows
And some science fiction too, thrown in. And basically,
he used to write his songs, he said, while watching sports.
oh
I
yeah,
thought that was sort of a weird tidbit. Said he enjoyed basketball the most and football. So I guess he sat around watching sporting events, writing all these fantasy lyrics. Pretty cool.
exactly. All right. What next? Let's see. Charts and certifications.
This was a big hit.
Yes, it was. It only got up to 56 on the Billboard Top 200, though. It did really good in the UK. It got up to 13.
It still sold 3 million copies in the US.
Oh, yeah. Yep. 2 million.
I
Almost.
thought it went triple platinum.
No, double platinum.
I don't
And,
believe you.
and silver in the UK.
I think Brett's lying.
Just going over my notes, man.
I don't trust your notes. I think people trust me more than your notes.
Well, it's got three plus signs next to the 2 million. So I guess once it hits three pluses, it goes to 3 million.
Well, who knows? It
So
may have went triple platinum like 20 years later. Who the hell knows? It was a good hit though, you know. Although, you know, like you said, it didn't debut very high on the charts, which is sort of surprising. But then again, Black Sabbath and the Dio band really weren't big, huge charting bands. You know, they didn't have a lot of singles that were, I think Paranoid might have been the biggest hit that Sabbath ever had on the charts.
was it?
It might be. I'm just sort of guessing. You know, Rainbow didn't start becoming a hit machine until after Ronnie left, and
Yeah.
they went in that more pop direction.
Yep. All right. I'm trying to find some stuff about the production here. Basically, like I already said, he basically produced it and wrote it and everything in his garage, set up a little studio in there. And I seen pictures of it. There was barely enough room for all the instruments, and they were like crowded in like sardines.
Oh, wow.
I bet that was loud
Only imagine how loud it would be.
because it was probably only a size, about the size of my area here in my living room. So, which isn't very big at all.
Not very big, no.
All right. Want to go over the track listing next?
Let's do that.
All right.
I'll give some input on these songs, I guess, as we go.
All right. Side one, track one, Stand Up and Shout. Banger right off the bat. I
It
remember the
is.
first time I heard that when I put that needle down on the record player, dude. It's like, wow, what the hell is this?
Yeah. It's you know, I said this album wasn't as heavy as Sabbath. This song was pretty damn heavy right here.
Yeah. Fast too, really
Fast,
fast.
yeah.
All
Uh,
right.
definitely a good song.
Yeah. Track two, the title track of the album, Holy Diver. And that bass line at the beginning, you very well known for sure.
It is.
You know what song it is when you hear that. So
There's also a video for this song.
yeah, where he's
It's
the like the knight or
it
whatever.
looks like a knight running through a church or something, and
Yeah.
with a big freaking sword. It's just
Yeah.
fighting a goblin. I believe
And
it's definitely a freaky video, but it
in
fits.
the fuzzy boots.
He's got the fuzzy boots. Yeah, sort of. If people make fun of Manowar, this is sort of a Manowar moment for Ronnie, I think.
Exactly. And also this was released as their first single off the album.
I think it was probably a good first single. It sort of gives the whole album in one song, which you're going
Yeah.
to be hearing.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Track three, Gypsy. And that almost could have sounds like something he might have been working on when he was with Sabbath, you
You know,
know?
I was about to say that it sounds sort of like from the Mob Rules era, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Vivian gets a co-write on this, I believe, as well. So I don't know exactly what Vivian did in it, but
All right. Track four, Caught in the Middle. And that was actually the name of a song that Vivian Campbell did with Sweet Savage.
it was. You're right. I forgot about that.
And then the moving on to track five, Don't Talk to Strangers, which is also both of these songs are awesome too. Uh
Don't Talk to Strangers has always been sort of a kind of a mystique song to me. Is like, what's he exactly talking about?
exactly.
It's he has a lot of those songs that are just mystique, mystery. Like, what is this song really mean?
But actually the one of the riffs in this song was Vivian Campbell's riff that was from that song Caught in the Middle from his other band,
So
Sweet
they
Savage.
moved it over to.
Yeah.
So see, this shows that the Dio band was really a band, even in this first album. They were gelling together well at this point.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think it was all Ronnie. I think the other three guys, or the other three guys contributed really well.
All right. Moving on to side 2, we got Straight Through the Heart.
Another pretty heavier song,
Yep.
real rifty.
Yeah. Jimmy Bean, he had a lot to do with this song. Very good bass in this too.
It is.
All right. What is this? Track 2, side 2, Invisible. And again, that almost sounds sort of like something he might have been working with Sabbath again.
Yeah, this might be the one song I would say is sort of the throwaway for me. Not real fond of it. Not a bad song. It just doesn't live up to the other ones as well.
Exactly. Side 2, track 3, Rainbow in the Dark. And that was released as their second single. And it's probably his most famous
Most famous
song.
song. Yeah, this is the Dio song that's still played on the radio to this day.
And he hated this song, Ronnie said. He said he wasn't a fan of it and didn't even want to put it on the album.
No. And the video is stupid.
Yeah,
They don't have anything to do with the song whatsoever.
I know.
It's got like this.
It's like a British spy movie or something.
Yeah. It doesn't fit the song lyrics at all. I thought it was a very odd video. But Rainbow in the Dark is definitely the quintessential Ronnie James Dio/Dio band song that they will always be remembered for.
Exactly.
And might be the biggest hit of anything Ronnie ever appeared on, as far as,
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know, Heaven and
Possibly.
Hell was pretty freaking,
Yeah.
but I think radio wise, you hear this way more than you would Heaven and Hell or anything off those early Rainbow albums.
Yep. Then track 4, final track on the album, Shame on the Night. And that's a dark ass song,
It's a
dude.
dark song and sort of got a bluesy sound. Dark is
Yeah.
just one of the best songs on the album for me. It's
my favorite song on the
I
album.
could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Very
I
good.
think it sort of shows what's to come with the Dio band too.
Yep.
Definitely definitely a banger at the last of the album there.
And then they did a deluxe edition,
Like 20 of them.
and it's got a bunch of B-sides and live stuff. The song Evil Eyes is on there though. That's a pretty good song.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't put that on the album.
Yeah, they could have
The
made
album
that
was only
easily
40
made that
minutes long. They could have easily fit that on there, but
that could have
in those
easily
days,
been
people
track
only wanted to
9.
put I don't know why they wanted to keep it to 9 songs.
All right. Then uh, didn't they just remastered again like a couple of years ago
I don't know. I've
and
got
added some interviews on
I
it
was
and
talking to
stuff.
Brett before we started the show, this text message that they've done so many damn remasters and remixes of this album. It's sort of pathetic at this point. I think that original deluxe edition was probably is a good way to end it. But they put out so many live versions and stuff. It's just I don't know. I've lost track of it.
Yeah, I know.
And I sort of blame it on Wendy Dio. I think we've said before, I think she might be just as bad as Sharon Osbourne.
Yeah.
And she's part of the reason why Vivian Campbell would have left Dio in the middle of the Sacred Heart tour. He wanted Ronnie to hold up to his deal. You're going to get paid more money by the third album. Then it was, well, you're going to get paid more money once we start touring on the third album. And that second half of the tour, Vivian was gone, and he did not quit the band. He was fired, and he was fired in a pretty shitty way. And I think that's why he held a lot of resentment toward Ronnie. And for years, I didn't realize that. And honestly, Vivian never really talked about it much until after Ronnie passed away. And it sort of explains the rift between those two guys. I think Ronnie felt like, well, it's my name. I could get anybody to play guitar. Well, I sort of disagree. I think Vivian Campbell was a very, very important member of this band. And Craig Goldie and the ones to follow were good, but I just really think Vivian was the best. He might have been Ronnie's Randy Rhoads. Luckily, we got more out of, we got 3 albums out of that combination.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm sort of bragging on Vivian here. I don't know. Had a change of thought over the years about that.
All right. I guess we can talk about the tour a little bit. You know anything about the tour?
I don't know much about the tour. I was hoping you did. I didn't research the tour.
Well, they opened up for Aerosmith when they first started the tour.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know, right? I bet he blew fucking Aerosmith off the stage.
Yeah, that's not and this was an Aerosmith in their down mode too. They were, don't
Yeah.
even know that Joe Perry was in the band at that point.
Oh,
Definitely not the Aerosmith of the late 80s, when they made their big comeback.
yeah, this was the Aerosmith one. Didn't they do the Walk This Way with Run DMC about this
No,
time?
that didn't come to like 85,
Oh, okay.
86. No, this was them whenever um around the time everybody had left the band just about, and Perry had the Joe Perry project, and Tyler
Yeah.
was so drugged up, I don't think he could barely function.
So yeah, they started that in July of '83, and it lasted all the way after the Aerosmith deal. They went over to Europe, and he just played. They just played as a with no opening
I was
band.
gonna say they should have been a headliner from the get-go, really,
Yeah,
just on the pedigree that Ronnie had and the fact he had the ex-drummer of Black Sabbath and ex-bass player of Rainbow. That should have they should have started out as a headliner.
I know, right? They played the Bronco Bowl on this tour.
I would have been too young for that.
Yep.
So they're playing
Uh,
sort of mid-sized venues, it sounds like.
yeah, they played some pretty decent. Well, they had uh did a co-headliner with Y&T too on this tour when
That
they
would have
got
been a
back.
good show.
Yeah. And Dokken was on a few dates also.
Well, they didn't get into their big
And
arena
Rough
stuff
Cut.
until the next album, Rough Cut. I forgot about them. The next 2 albums is when they got more into the whole arena rock with the big dragons
Yeah,
on the stage and the lasers and
exactly. Yeah. Yep. And that lasted until like the second week of January of '84. And after that, they went and recorded the next album.
yeah, that's what they did in those days.
And then right back on tour again. So, but this time, next time it was a headlining tour. So,
Yeah, and I think they moved to the arenas and like I said started with the big shows. Sort of always compared Dio to Iron Maiden and Judas Priest with the level and the epics of of their shows with the effects and the lighting and the lasers and the monsters on stage. I think the 3 of them were trying to outdo each other.
well, the laser stuff was actually sort of new too,
It was, yeah.
It was the cheesy,
It
cheesy
was pretty
lasers
cheesy,
too.
yeah.
I remember the band Triumph, they had the like one of the first laser shows too. back in the day.
I think I've got a Holy Diver concert on DVD over here. I
Oh,
know
yeah.
I do actually. It's a good show.
So,
Set list wise, I know they played a couple of Sabbath songs,
oh yeah.
and I don't know. I'm sure they did a couple of Rainbow songs.
Man on the
Ronnie,
Silver Mountain.
yeah,
Ronnie's always known for doing them montages of like two,
yeah.
3 songs. So,
Well, I think he sort of felt like,
hey, he
Richie's
wrote
not
that.
doing anything with these
Yeah,
songs, and Sabbath wasn't playing them for the
exactly.
most part, and he's trying to keep them alive.
Yep. So that's all I got about the tour. Uh, what's your thoughts on this album there, Carl? And what do you rate it as?
I think this album is great. It's one of the best debuts ever. But again, I don't really, part of me doesn't even really think of it as a debut album. I think of it as just a shift, from Rainbow to Sabbath to the Dio band. So it's not like, this is a brand new performer like, like when Guns N' Roses blew up at their first album. But it is a debut album from a new band, nevertheless. And again, they were trying to gel this into a band and they did a damn good job with it. Um, I don't know that it's my favorite Dio album of all time, but I respect the hell out of it. I'd give this album a 4.5. That's the praises I would give this thing.
Okay.
I like it, still listen to it. I mean, yeah, Rainbow in the Dark has been fucking played to death. I don't, if I never heard that song again, I would be happy. Sort of agree with Ronnie's assessment of the song. But, everybody's got to have that one radio song they're known for, and they got it with
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. And
This is a damn
it's not a bad song. It's
not
just
a bad song. It's just been played too many times. It's kind of like some of the Priest songs, like Breaking the Law. If I never heard Breaking the Law again, I'd be happy.
yeah.
They're just overplayed.
Every time I hear that now, I think of Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, but yeah, this is definitely a great. I mean, it's definitely uh, right along the lines of Heaven and Hell and the Mob Rules. It definitely continued the vein that the direction that. Sadly, I kind of wish he would have stuck with Sabbath, but I understand didn't work out.
Yeah.
Um, I wish he could have stuck with Vinny over the years, but they went in different directions. I know one story I'll tell before I get to you. Vivian said he talked to Ronnie and said, "Hey, could I do some background vocals?" And he said he pointed his finger. No, guitar players don't sing. Richie Blackmore didn't sing, and Tony Iommi didn't sing. So you're not singing. And Vivian was like, "Okay, why do I have to be a clone of them two guys?" But he gets to sing in Def Leppard now, so
Good
oh,
for him.
yeah, good for him. I don't think you're gonna praise Vivian like I do, so go
Uh,
for it.
oh, he's a great guitarist, you know. He did a great job on this album for sure. Some of the
Oh,
best
by far.
some of the best guitar licks in the fucking world, man,
Yeah,
in
he
metal.
doesn't get enough credit.
For sure. He's an awesome guitar player. Uh this album, lots of memories of of this album. Like I said, I went and made my mom drive me to the record store on my 16th birthday to get it, the first day it came out,
Yeah, that's funny.
and played the grooves out of that fucking thing. I had to buy another copy, and I think I had a cassette of it too. Uh yeah,
Yeah, I've still got my original CD of it from the '80s. It's in the case over here. I
uh
probably got one of the deluxe editions as well.
just everybody did a good job on this album too. Everybody's playing was
Oh yeah, top notch,
awesome.
man.
Benny's drums, you know, just Ronnie's voice. He really put his voice into this album for sure. He wanted this
He
perfect
had a
for
lot to
sure.
prove, and he really
Yep.
did. This was a Yeah, it was a proven time for him. Was it really Ronnie, or was it just he happened to be lucky with Blackmore and Iommi? And he proved no, it was Ronnie. He's the real deal, man. And he put three of the best fucking players with him, and
Exactly.
lots of praise.
But this album still holds up,
It does.
you know,
It is not dated at all.
not at all. And it's what, 41 years old?
It is. And
Uh
yeah, it's still solid.
Still solid.
Some of the later Dio albums don't sound as they sound sort of 80s ting. This album does not.
Exactly. But yeah, I love this album. It's probably in my top 20 albums of all time for sure. Uh
What you gonna give it?
I'm gonna give it a 4.5 too. There there's I'm not a big fan of that Gypsy song. It's a little, I don't know,
Kind of.
just something about it I don't like.
Yeah, I feel the same way about that Invisible song. Just
I don't hate it, but I just,
Gypsy's okay. I mean, yeah, but definitely, I don't know. I think that Evil Eyes belonged on the album more than either one of those songs, maybe.
yeah, exactly, because that's a very good song.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't know why they didn't. Maybe Ronnie wanted to put it on there instead of what do you call it?
Rainbow in the Dark.
Yeah, Rainbow in the Dark. Maybe that would have been the big hit. Who knows?
It could have been.
Could have been. Lots of ways that could have went for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4.5, man.
I think the Evil Eyes ended up on another album eventually. Maybe it's a different reworked version,
Huh.
but I don't know. I still have my favorite album's probably fucking Sacred Heart, though. I think that was,
I think this one's my favorite Dio album
yeah.
for sure. So,
That's
you
what
got
we
anything
got.
else?
That's what we got for Holydiver.
That's all we got. Stay tuned for snippets unless Wendy
Unless
Dio shuts us
Warner
down.
Brothers or whatever they're called now. They're not even Warner Brothers
Warner
anymore.
Music Group, WMG, is that what it is?
Yeah, they have nothing to do with the Warner Brothers Discovery Company. It's
Well,
too
I'll know when
separate.
I edit it on the
So you may not get
YouTube.
snippets.
You may not get them.
If you ain't heard this album, go to Apple Music or Spotify and give it a listen. It's
For
it's a
sure.
classic.
For sure.
Best singer in heavy metal was Ronnie James Dio. That's my take.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching and listening, and check us out on all the social medias. And
Lots of haunt stuff coming now.
still got t-shirts if anybody wants a t-shirt. $25, free shipping. All right, everybody. Stay evil.
It's the same old song. You gotta be somewhere sometime, and they never let you fly. It's like broken glass. You get cut before you see it. So open up is clear.